And I am lucky enough to have a food processor, and I'm going to take the easy route.
And what is this? What is that you are
This
cutting?
is Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with this.
Do we have the recipe on that one?
You do.
This
You
is
have the
tomato
recipe.
Parmesan soup.
This is the tomato Parmesan soup.
Forward to.
So what I'm going to do is just cut / break the cheese into some chunks, and I always save the rind because I'm going to use the rind in this dish. The recipe doesn't call for it, but you can use it or not. So if you're lucky enough to have a food processor and you don't want to grate it, grate your cheese. And it's just pulse. Actually, I'm going to just try really good thing. Stopping it to see how ground up it is. You can kind of tell by the sound that it's there. It's almost there. And if you get good Parmesan cheese, I'm gonna. I want everybody to take a smell of this.
So good.
And I want to ask you why you do that. See how it starts to get more like
Uh-huh.
rose butter? Can you?
Uh-huh.
Then do you eat
You
that
keep eating
piece?
it. So you can take a few leaves off at a time and dunk them when it gets to that point, and then I'll show you what to do with the heart. So get a whiff of this.
I was wondering what was smelling. Oh my goodness.
And how do you say if you get
Holy
good
crud.
cheese? How do you know if you're getting good cheese
I
besides
couldn't
you're paying
figure out what
arm and
was
leg
the
for it?
smell. Like,
That's the only reason. Yeah, you just pay a lot for it.
Oh wow! Is that
You
it?
can kind of tell you want it to look really, really
Salivating.
dry. And good Parmesan cheese is even looks like like in good Parmesan cheese.
Bought the canister, shred it. I'm like, man.
oops, my gosh. It's hard to do that when you start cooking
If you,
I know.
I'm going to show you.
It's hard to go back.
It is. I've never gone back. Not with that.
Not really. You've gotten your own and shredded it like that.
But
Well,
when,
not
when
like that,
you
but I
get
got one
good
that looks like
Parmesan, I mean,
yeah.
you'll see like it's crystallized, so that you really almost have to break it, or it can break apart. And I think if it has, like you can see on the rind, Parmigiano Reggiano, I mean, it's going to differ. You can pass this around if you like. It's going to differ in its age depending on where you get it. But I think, I think part of that was from Trader Joe's. Part of it was from Kroger. I also occasionally splurge on the Parmesan from Fresh Market.
Kroger has good cheese nowadays. Here, I just
do.
got into it,
Oh,
so
wow,
you
what
can tell.
happened?
Show
Yeah.
it to us.
Okay, so here's
It's really hot still, honey. Really.
here's the choke.
This is why our chicks are so expensive. The hearts.
And all you do is see that? That's the choke. This is two done, so I've got to take the other one out. But
That's
you
your
just, can you see what I'm doing?
yeah.
I'm just taking that fuzzy
Oh,
part
I know
off.
it's feeling like the inside of a
It's,
daffodil. or
it's
something.
fuzzy. It's totally
That's
fuzzy.
interesting.
And you don't eat that, right, Randie?
No, no, no. I mean, it won't hurt you. It's just not palatable. That was the choke. Then
Yeah,
the rest
you
of
got
this.
to get a taste of the inside.
That's the
That's
artichoke
the
part.
part you eat.
That's the heart.
Fantastic.
And that's what you buy in the little
Really?
jars that are marinated.
Oh.
That's
Wait till
the
you taste it.
prize.
It's like
it's like you have to work so hard, which is nice because it forces you to like be, you know, because you just get a baby bite after that middle like.
Okay, make sure and get some of the bottom butter too. Hang on a second. I want to just get rid of this.
You go
mess.
on. Like, now I know how Joey feels when I cook and
Okay.
don't feed him. Aww.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
my
I'm gonna put
gosh.
this in your hand, okay?
Me?
Here.
Oh.
Whoever wants it.
I don't.
Isn't it
I
hot?
don't want to eat that big of
No.
a piece.
Warm.
I'm going to pull this other
I
one
was
out.
willing to
They
set
cool
for-
down.
Get the
Really?
butter.
Yeah.
The butter. You have to
Go.
get the butter at the very bottom.
Oh.
And then you can drain
Shoot.
some off, but all those little milk
Granules.
solids are at the bottom. And by the way,
What do you think?
the water left over from artichokes, I really makes
Not
a
sure if it's that
fabulous
or
Ooh, stop.
stock.
Ah.
Yeah.
I used to use it. I used to do
Right?
artichokes and
I'm
then
not too
It's
sure about
like
the brown
a
butter.
crab.
with the water.
it tastes
Just the brown butter.
Yeah,
is that the butter though that makes it?
maybe.
It
But
might
it's
be.
still the texture, like crab.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you
Crab
said about the
like
water.
Like
Like
that.
What did you say about the water?
The
You use it for stock? Is that what you said?
mhm.
Oh, okay.
It's really good in onion soup.
Oh, really?
Hardly any
It's
calories.
totally great in onion
Well,
soup.
it is when you do the butter.
So I'm starting on the tomato parmesan soup.
Yeah.
I already have some onions peeled, and because I have my processor, I can do this so easily. I'm going to turn my pan on. I'm going to
That's a
turn
lot of
it
work for just
on
that
like
little bit.
medium.
Easy.
It is, but they're worth it. They are expensive.
I mean, if you do it once a year, you know, then it's like, it's special, it's a treat.
You said they're expensive. Like how expensive is a large chip?
I don't know.
Those
a couple
were
bucks or
two
three.
for $5.
Okay.
I mean, I gave Terry one last night. You know, it's like,
They're just so good though.
so I've got 4 onions here, and I think I'm going to do a 5th. Because the base of this whole soup, yeah, I think I will do a 5th. The base of this whole soup is,
So how could you tell you needed 5? Just
and I just always go
Oh,
over
yeah.
with onions and mushrooms.
Okay.
And these are like medium onions to me. So, and I'm going to cut, for this, I'm cutting both ends off.
They don't seem very strong.
They don't. But if you were cutting all of them, if you were cutting them, you would dice them.
Okay.
And you would leave, the root end attached. And you would do this.
Okay.
You would do that with all of them. And
It's amazing how well you do that.
they would be,
Keep
I
trying.
do
Watching
it
your
so
hands.
much. I do it so much. So
like an art.
again,
I'm getting better, but usually
Really like an art.
it is.
I mean, a sharp knife helps. It really helps. So,
You
okay,
said towards what end of the onion? What
Um,
was it called?
I'll show you the step.
Okay, the
so-
stem. Okay.
So I'll show you again with
Okay.
the Penang curry.
Okay.
But
That's the stem.
this
Okay.
this
gotcha.
is the root. I'm sorry, it's the root end right
Okay.
here that holds the onion together. It's the hairy part.
Gotcha.
You know? It's so you want to slice the other end off
Okay.
ultimately and get a flat surface, and then slice straight through
Okay.
the root end.
Oh, I
Okay.
always slice both ends off.
too.
Well, if you do that, and
They're
I'll
more
show
likely to
you
fall
when I do
apart.
the curry,
Now
it'll
I
fall
see what
apart.
you're saying. That makes sense.
So, my pan's heating. I've got most of my onions in. If I were doing it by hand, this is what I would do. And the processor just makes this soup so easy.
Wow, it's crazy.
I need one of those.
Wow, that
All right.
10 minutes
Do you
of
like-
cutting, don't you think?
Do you
that's
like
it.
that brand? Because you know there's a million to pick
Cuisinart.
from.
I think it's a dependable brand.
Tell me why you a big one.
So my pan's getting hot. I'm going to give it a good drink of olive oil.
And you're using
How
the
much-
good olive oil.
And I'm using the good olive oil because there's no meat in this dish, and
Okay, so
I
it's-
want the richness.
What's the good one? The garlic one?
So you're almost
William
covering the
Sonoma.
bottom of the pan.
That's right. And what does the recipe say? Like 2 to 3 tablespoons, maybe? Of
You
what
don't
oil?
say. It just says add the vegetables.
I mean,
Season
4
with salt and
tablespoons
pepper.
of extra virgin olive oil?
How much?
4 tablespoons.
Oh, the olive oil. I'm sorry. I'm looking
Yeah,
for
4
directions.
tablespoons.
Yeah.
My pan's too hot. I don't want it to sizzle. I want to sweat these. I don't want to brown them. So I turned it down.
So that's why you're crowding it, because you want them to sweat.
I do, yes.
Are you guys going to eat
So those vegetables are way done.
You can eat it all.
Perfect.
It's all yours.
And
Did you
this,
love it?
I'm not sure.
I'm just gonna
It's
turn
okay.
the jam
I don't
bars
think I would go to
around.
all the trouble.
They are a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, so those onions are going. There's more butter if anyone needs. And I already have peeled some carrots and celery. And I'm going to do the same thing in the processor with them. I mean, it really makes short work of it.
Is there a reason why you did the onions first? Because those seem like they would take longer to cook.
They do take longer to cook. Good question. And what I want those carrots, when this soup is done, to have a bite.
Oh, so you're not going to cook them down like you are the onion.
So this is tomato parmesan with carrots.
And celery.
Interesting.
So if I were cutting the carrots by hand, I would probably cut it in half. I would then cut each half in half. And then I would put the flat side down and cut it into pieces. But the processor, actually, I'm going to add some celery to this too. I think, yeah, I'll do the celery separately. So again, I'm just going to pulse.
Because of the textures, is that why you're doing it separate?
Just because there's a decent amount of carrots in it.
Oh.
And actually, let's see, one more is going to do it. This is going to be real uneven, and I like it that way. Okay?
That was pretty. I like that too.
Again, because you want texture, and that's
I
why
want
you're
the
doing
texture. I'll just put this in with it.
I never thought about carrots being in tomato calories. You can eat these.
Carrots add sweetness.
Yourself. They're so
And
good.
carrots, onions, and celery are classic mirepoix. That's what it's called.
Mirepoix.
Mirepoix. M-I-R-E. P-O-I-X. Mirepoix.
Mirepoix.
It's a French term, and it usually consists of 2 parts onion to 1 part carrot and 1 part celery. And it is a foundation of flavor.
Will you repeat that again, please? 2 parts what?
Onion to 1 part carrot and 1 part celery. And it's a great way to start soups. Okay, come on. Why it's not.
take a picture of these guys over here. Hello.